Okay guys, I'm so excited about this video today. It is literally one of the #1 questions that I get in my Facebook group and everywhere else, that even just at the hospital. But what we are talking about is how to know when it's time to go to the hospital, like when it's time to have the baby. And let me start by introducing myself in case we haven't met. My name is Sarah. I am a labor and delivery nurse of over 7 years now. And I also have 3 girls. I'm a mom to 3 girls. I have twins, which was fun, a good learning experience. The twins are almost 5. They will be 5 in December. And then my youngest is Harper. She just turned 2. So I've delivered myself via C-section, and I've also had a VBAC with my 3rd. And then, like I said, I've been a labor and delivery nurse for over 7 years. So I love teaching y'all, hanging out with y'all, just covering education that you're interested in. So I hope you love it. Okay, today we're talking about how do you know when it's time to go to the hospital. #1 reason that I think most people think of is, or maybe they see in the movies, is, well, my water's gonna break. And then I'll know it's time to go to the hospital. And that's true, that's one of the #1 reasons. If your water breaks and you're planning on delivering in the hospital, that's a great time to go in. You don't have to like run there right away. If you wanna take a quick shower, gather your stuff, as long as you are not in crazy severe pain, you can kind of take your time, maybe eat something. If you're gonna have a vaginal delivery, you're not scheduled for a C-section, you should eat something, because once you get to the hospital, chances are they aren't gonna let you eat very often, until after the baby's born, of course, then they will feed you. So #1 reason, water breaks. Now, a couple of things about that. When it happens, which it might be a huge gush, like you see in the movies, you might be standing in the middle of Target, and before you know it, you have fluid everywhere, like a big flood. Or it might not, it might just be a trickle. So you might just be like, did I just pee myself? Is my water broken? You don't really know. If it keeps happening, chances are probably it's broken. So it's definitely good to go get it checked out than not to go in if you're not sure. So take a look at the time so you can let us know what time it happened. And then the other thing is, take a look at the color. We want to know if it was clear or white, or maybe sometimes it's green or yellow. And those are all just important info for us. So if you will take note of that, that way you'll know when you get to the hospital. Okay, so that's an easy one. Your water breaks, head to the hospital. Next, contractions. So that's kind of what we think of also when it comes to labor. You're gonna have contractions. But towards the end of pregnancy, as a lot of you know, you have a lot of contractions anyways, and a lot of them are Braxton Hicks contractions, maybe just practice contractions. So how do you know when it's the real deal? Because I will tell you, it happens a lot that we get people that come in, they're having contractions, but it's probably just false labor or Braxton Hicks contractions, and we end up sending them home because their cervix is not dilating. So what we're looking for if you're coming to the hospital for labor is that the contractions are strong enough that they're causing your cervix to open or dilate, and that's how we know it's labor. So you can't check your own cervix, so the way that you will know is to pay attention to how close your contractions are, if they are getting stronger and closer together over time, and also how strong they are in general, how they feel. So if it's your first baby, I like to go by what's called the 3-1-1 rule. So you're having contractions at least every 3 minutes that last about a minute or so. The length of the contraction isn't as important. And then for at least an hour of those, okay? So contractions, first baby, every 3 minutes for at least an hour. And it might be 2 to 4 minutes. It doesn't have to be exactly 3 minutes, but right around about every 3 minutes regularly, then you know probably we're getting close to time to go in. If it's your second or third or fourth or so on, we generally recommend the 5-1-1 rule, so contractions at least every 5 minutes for at least an hour. And the other thing, guys, that's so important that most people, this is where they get mixed up, is you really have to pay attention to the strength, because if maybe you're dehydrated or you have something else going on, or you've just been having, doing a lot of activity that day, you might have some regular contractions, but they probably are not strong enough to put you into labor. So the contractions need to be strong enough that they stop you in your tracks, basically. You can't walk, you can't talk, you cannot do anything but focus on the contraction, focus on your breathing until it's done. And that's when you know, and you'll know. I tell people that all the time, you'll know. And when it hits, you will know. And that's exactly what I said myself when I got to experience it myself. So, recap, guys, if your water breaks, go to the hospital. If your contractions are strong enough that you can't walk or talk when they're happening and they are regular, every 3 minutes apart for at least an hour for your first baby, every 5 minutes apart for at least an hour for your second or more babies. And then a couple other things, guys, and this is really just for healthy, normal labors, not if you have any medical complications, but if you're ever concerned, if you just feel like you need, something's wrong, of course you want to trust your mommy instincts and get that checked out. If you feel like your baby's not moving normally, or you're having bleeding like a heavy menstrual period more than just some spotting, those are always things that you want to get checked out too. And we can kind of cover things that are more warning signs in another video, but I just wanted to kind of mention them here. So I hope that was helpful for you. Make sure that you subscribe. That is so helpful for me. It really means a lot if you would like, and if you would comment, leave your questions below. I love to answer them. I'm gonna link my Facebook group down below for you, as well as my social channels, so you can come see our daily life. I share all of the chaos that is being a nurse and a blogger and a mom of 3 on Instagram, especially, and Facebook. So find us, I'll link it down below, and I hope you have a great day.